What?
What's the question?
It's in 1 week. Could everyone have l'chaim with me?
We even have the caramel.
We should do the caramel.
Last
time we had kished caramel. This is salted caramel.
Whatever. It's all the same.
Right.
It's going to work. It all works. Abyssal. That's enough. Chaim Teva V'Shalom. We have a chashav v'chasan over here. A tzaddik, a younger man. He's got to be in his chashav v'rabbitzin. These are our best people.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All the miles. I would like to thank Rabbi Yosef Yafi for always reminding me to thank everybody. I want to thank this is the sweetest guy around. L'chaim. Now, Rabbi said, today is the yahrzeit, was the yahrzeit, the Alta von Navada. Was macht ihr? Last night we had a full house. Should have been there, we had a blast. You were there?
No. I found out late at night last night.
Was stark. Was macht ihr? How you feeling? You're going to be perfect.
Amen.
Getting sweet every time I meet you.
Last night I was at Russia, and I'm not sure what was better, did I was Russia or did I was Niggin?
How was the nigga?
It was very
Married.
Yeah.
So, it's a nigga. It's real.
Where was this?
Next time you're coming.
Next time I get invited.
We need somebody who knows us all, who's going to be on the case and get everybody involved. We have half Lakewood wants to come, and they don't know where they are. You know? Oh, it was late. Yeah, it's a shot. We could have had double. It was plenty big. You're the man. But we want to get more. Find out this gentleman over here, Adam Choshevad Moed, and this. Who's that? This gentleman. Look at it. We have all this. What? Yehуда Rothstein. We've got great people here. You're from the Gora, not Chaim Teva V'Shalom. Schutz von der Alte. The schutz von the Alte. Now, I'm on a high with Simcha. What do you think the Alte wants from us? To work on our midos. In this day and age, being besimcha is Kodesh Kedoshim. The Alte would look down from Shemayim and say, you're doing, we daven Abish to please help us do what we're supposed to be doing. All day long, we got to thank Hashem that for sure we're doing the right thing. Because if we're going to go around asking Hashem all day, help me do the right thing, guess where you're heading? It's not Kedai. You can do it. I used to do plenty of that. Oh, man. Spend more time. Thanks that I'm looking. Thanks that I want to be good. Why am I going to turn into a malach? We want to Rabbeinu Shalom. We want to do the right thing. The Eibishter likes Stoltz. He likes it. He likes it. Yashri kechachem sheshibad. Moshe Rabbeinu's own idea to smash the luchik. Did a good job, Moshe. It was your own idea. Who are you? The Eibishter? Yes, the Eibishter. You did good, Moshe. Yashri kechachem mamaleya. That you hustled, even though Dashkacha was you're getting Esav. Yitzchak Avinu was the God Lador. He said, Esav. Well, don't be such a smart lady. You marry him, you'll turn around. No, give me those mices. I went, Yaakov. Come inside, Rabbi Say. Enjoy. Good stuff we got here. Caramel. Good stuff. Drink, Rabbi Say. Drink. Alta's yahrzeit. The Alta's masking. We should all drink. The Alta wants us to be happy. He wants us to do the ruts in Abayre. We're so lucky we're in Hashem's delicious world. Delicious, this world is much. The whole world is so sweet and beautiful and delicious. I go like Shitas Eibishter, who said Kitayv about 8 times. The books, the newspapers, I don't know if they are the Eibishter's Mahalach. Eibishter's Mahalach is Kitayv. I counted 8 times. Kitayv. I see it's good. It's a good world. You know? I go like the Eibishter. I also hold it's a great world. I hold it's unbelievable. Who am I? The best part of the world is the Eibishter. There's no words for him. Don't think he doesn't appreciate what I just said now. He likes what I said. You know that? You know why people have parents and the whole system, the father, the son? Look at the way he feels. Now you got a father in Shemai. And he's similar. Your father likes when you appreciate what he does for you. The father in Shemai also likes that stuff. Show you appreciate Erev Chanukah. Say thank you till you go my sugar. And don't say thank you because I want this and I want that. Let's chin up. You're getting it anyway. Thank you because I'm just thankful. There's a halach in Shulchan Aruch. At a certain point, you just say Moida Menachulach. In davening, where's that in Gay? It's halacha. You're not mafsik, but you just say those 3 words. Moida Menachulach. You didn't get to the point. That's enough. Just say thank you and leave me alone. Hapam Oides Hashem. No reason. You need reasons. You go Meshuggah, you can't even find reasons. There's so much going on. Thank you so much for everything and anything. The Yeshurim are a galik. Yeshurim is a joke. Yeshurim is gavaldig. You don't ask for it. But I want to tell you what, my class loved it. The Heilige Rizhin has said, and my little 9-year-old bubbies, they love this every year. I tell it over, they go wild. Gam ki yelech begeitz amoves lo yirara ki yata imadi. Even if I go in the shadow of death, by the way, there are documented studies where they saw people died. That's a fact. I've checked this out. It's a fact. People die and they come back alive. It's a metzias. We're okay? I forgot 5. Okay. It's got to be all right. With the 5, without the 5. Maybe still take care of that too. Why are people batlanim? Why are they messing up all over the place? Because it's better like that. Maybe still take care already. You know, a guy gave out I'm going to give you Bטחון weekly in 100 places. Takes 100 copies. Mitzvah Shabbos, you go, I'm so sorry, I forgot. You know what am I supposed to do with him? Abish will take care. Abish, yeah, you messed up. Nobody messed up. You tried. Abish will make it work some other way. He'll find 1 copy somebody found, a back issue, and that guy's worth 1,000 people. Don't leave it to Hashem. He has to be the way I want. I'm in his hands. Let him run the world. We try. We're all a bunch of yuckles. To be a batlin is a bracha. That's the Abish to take over. It's one of the biggest issues in the world. I realize I hit a big nakuda. People who are not Masuda are going crazy. By the way, I'm told that the Masuda people are dying out. All the Masuda people are on the way out. I was told the Yekis, the Yekish Kahila, which I am part of them, so I'm allowed to make fun. They're almost extinct. You know the Oberländer Jews, all the kids are Streinlich. You know that? It's not true? Wherever you go, you're one of them. Either they become Litvakis or Streinlich, but they don't stay Oberland. What happened? All the Yekis, the Masuda people are on the way out. It's over. Don't even try. Give up. How you going? Come here, sweetie. I love you to pieces. All the Masuda guys. All the Masuda people, it's over. Don't try to be Masuda. The guy that did it to, his wife had ulcers because of her father, who was one of the old guys who visits her once a week and looks around the house without saying anything, and her ulcers are activated thanks to her father's observation of making sure everything is misudar, and she's from one of us. One of us. We're not, and she can't do it. he calls me up. My wife's going with sugar. I says, tell your wife, no kibbut up. You want ulcers with your kibbut up? No kibbut up. You'll be mechaberim. Send them a box of chocolates here and there. But keep out of my... You can be here. But if she's not throwing them out, but her mindset about her father has radically changed thanks to Rabbi Mendel, who said, your father is here on in a taita meshugana, as far as you're concerned. In that area. Oh, there he is. He davened, he's nice, he's this, he's that. But this, and being mesudar, you're nuts. Bless this mess. What you really should do is make a big sign that bigger than the whole house. And next time, bless this mess in fancy colors and everything. And next time he comes in here, Todd, this is special for you. Had you in mind. I'm sure you would love it. Sure you would love it. This is the way I do things, Bubby. You're a great father, but I'm not your high madrega. You're Masudar. I am not Masudar. Now, she can't do that. So she had to do some mind work and brainwash herself. Mandel's medicine. My father is a taita meshugana. And she did that. I told her husband to tell his wife to do it. And she did a great job. And he told me later that she views her father as a Rachmanis. He never... It's not on order. What's going on over here? You know, the guy Nebuch has to have everything in a box. So that's how she views him. No more ulcers. From the time they met Mendel was 2 years ago. When Mendel made this guy's wife no more ulcers by fopping on kibbut ava'in. And the Abish himself is masking with me. There's no suffix. You're supposed to get ulcers for kibbut av? What does that say? Anyway, now I believe in kibbut ava'in. I believe in it till Shemayim. You shouldn't do for your parents. I'm serious about it. Kibbut ava'in. But when they're getting you sick, stop with that kibbut ava'in. That's a different ballgame. They can't get you sick. That's a different story. There's no, aber desire, you rise in shvichas you jump into the fire. Not the kibbut ava'in. You don't kill yourself. Kibbut ava'in. You don't do that. Chayachal kaidben. You'll backdoor. You'll send them more pretzels. Send them some chocolates. Send them this. Love notes. I love to send you these notes as long as you keep out of my house. Don't say that. Have Rahmanas on them. They should have Rahman. They should respect parents much more. And I'm not, by the way, now I'm going to tell you something. A little bit nasty stuff I'm going to say here. Terrible stuff. Let's say somebody does have it really hard. Your father messed him up, his mother. It's baloney. It's not baloney. Some people need to realize it's not your fault. It's what they did to you. Okay. You know how many people have beautiful backgrounds and they suffer just as much as the guys without the beauty. Do you know that? I'm telling you from experience. The first time I heard it, I was in shock. How'd you become such a basket case? All the love that your mother gave you, your father gave you. Look at yourself. How did that happen? One after another, with all the love. You look like you're in the garbage can. How did that happen? You know where that's coming from? The Abish did to prove to us. Stop having anger. You did it. You did my father, my mother, Some people need to have anger. It's a different story. There's certain therapeutic things over there. I know of another Gadol, whom his kids went off like, it wasn't his fault. I don't believe he did anything wrong, but he was such a big name. Anybody who's the son of so-and-so is automatically in trouble. Wherever he goes, you're the son of so-and-so. So you're killing him. He's not capable of being Yena, whatever. So he's getting hurt thanks to the parent, whatever. Okay. So the parent's not the parent's fault. But even if it is the parent's fault, this father who's a famous Adam Gadol V'Noira, the biggest bombs, took a special flight to be by the therapist, that the kid should sound out against the father. Father sat there. That's the way they do things. It's fine. He was mousing. The kid had his therapy session. We sounded out against the father, and the father smiled along. Yes, you're right. I'm a bad whatever. I did this. I did that. I'm no good. And then the kid's cured. I mean, he's a mature father. Adam Gadol. This person, I don't want to say his name. Adam Gadol, mamish, not shaykh. But whatever it is, so fine. You aired out. Oh, but now, it's a waste of energy. Hashem Amalikal. You had any problems back home, it was not your father and not your mother. It was Hashem who wants to test you and see how you're going to deal with that. And if you develop anything in a bad background, your madrega is way ahead of all your friends. It's a bracha to be. The little thing you do is so chashiv in Shemayim. Look where you came from. Look what became. You make your friends are jokes compared to you. Somebody who comes from an issue, from he's a malach. With the chusim he has, he holds up the world. Look, you got plenty of company. David HaMelech, Yosef HaTzadik. You got so many friends. Anybody ever get this yanis from an Adam Gadol? From the Gadol Adar, who called him a name? Well, guess who got this yanis? Chana was called a shikar. She kaita by Eli HaKayim. What did Chana say? You're wrong. I'm not shikar. You're supposed to have Ruach HaKodesh. She got Bizyanis. By the way, I want to put in a plug for Bizyanis. Chana got a son. First of all, learn from Chana. Chana asked for a boy. I want a boy that's equal to Moshe and Aaron. I'm asking already. Let's do it right. I want a boy. If somebody has a problem, what do you have to aim for? Just please help me solve it. No. While you give me parnasa, how about a billionaire? Let's get moving on this. You can do it, Abishta. So Chana, 130 years old she was. I go on according to the Shita, that's most Gishmak. 130 years old. She finally has a kid. You need a Moshe and Aaron in one shot? Yes. The Mama Leah, and she got Shmuel Hanavi. By the way, she had Bizyanis from Penina. Boy, she mavazahar. Where are your children, Chanale? My Berla and Shmerla and Getzala and Grindala and Rivkala and Malkala. See how many nice, beautiful children I have? You don't have any, Nebuch. That's what Penina used to do to her. We don't understand the Chas v'Shalom to understand. But in Pashup Pshat, that's what happened. And Chana is getting all stressed out. She got Bizyanis from Penina. Then she gets Bizyanis from Eli Gadol Adar. We're all set for a Moshe and Aaron in one piece. A Shmuel Hanavi. There's nobody like him. Shmuel Hanavi? Rabbi say, I can't describe to you how I feel about Shmuel Hanavi. I like to talk about him for 10 years. Shmuel Hanavi. I'm in awe. I had a Zayda whose name was Elkanah. Shmuel Hanavi's father's name was Elkanah. I had two Zaydas I know of for sure, Elkanah. Elkanah he was a Kairach's Einikel. And he channeled Kairach's rabble-rousing, let's go against Moshe. He said, let's go to the Mishkan. He used that same Kairach that a Zayda had. That's a good Kairach. We're going to use it right. And he became Elkanah, who brought back Gans Klal Yisrael to the Mishkan. They're all sitting home. They were chilled. And he says, come, let's get a whole shtickle. You know what he did, Elkanah? He decided, he saw no one's going to the Mishkan. So he goes to sleep in the street. And you're sleeping in the street? Well, I'm on the way to the Mishkan. Oh, the Mishkan. I haven't been there. Want to come along? Yeah. Come, let's go. So he has a whole group of people. We're going to the next town. There's a whole group. Rabbi site, we're all going to sleep in the street. In the street? Yeah. You see what I'm up to. He was okay. Elkanah. Shmuel's father. Everyone sleep in the street, and suddenly everybody's opening up their windows. What's going on? Whole bunch of Yidden in the street. We're all going to the Mishkan. Oh, the Mishkan. Wow, haven't been there yet. Come along. And the next town. And he made a bandwagon. He was good. Kerech vayikach kerech. He took their hearts. He was a salesman. He knew how to capture people's and rabble-rouse and make lebedik and get everyone against Moshe. So his Einikel, Elkanah, Ke'elkanah, he brought people to Hashem. He was also vayikach, but in a different way. And he got the whole, and one year he got massive. They're all in the Mishkan suddenly filling up, thanks to Elkanah. And the next year he says, Rabbi said, we're going a different route. Now that city and that city and that city and that city. Before you turned around, you got the whole Klal Yisrael back to the Mishkan. The Abisha said, Shmuel, Elkanah, you brought God's Klal Yisrael back to me. I'm going to give you a son that's going to go around Klal Yisrael and bring them. Shmuel Hanavi, who is Moshech 2 kings, Shaul HaMelech, Kleine Kayit, and David Malka Mashiach. There's no one like Shmuel. Shmuel Hanavi. So I have no words. I can't describe. How did he get there? His mommy had 2 bizyanis. That's all it takes. Get bizyanis, you'll also get a Shmuel. One from Penina. Chana, where are your kids? Oh, salt on my wounds. And then Elkanah. And then Eli Yakain, the God Lador, for 80 years. And he's looking at Chana, lady, are you shikah? Because she was davening low. In those days, they didn't do that. She was the forerunner of silent Shemoneh. She was a Nevi'ah Chana. And she was davening. He thought she was shikah. He says, excuse me, lady. It's bad enough a man drinks here in the Beis HaMikdash. A lady, you're not embarrassed to drink? So she says, I thought you had Ruach HaKodesh. You don't. I'm not shikah. Anyway, she got Taina. That's my taich in the whole story. 2 bazyanis. Then he says, oh, if that's the case, I give her. Are you here for a son? She says, yes, I don't have no kids. I'm 130. You're getting a kid. She said, amen on his bracha. And she knew she got the baby. She got Shmuel Hanavi. What a beautiful story. Everybody said it's a big schooler. Vayesh echad min haramasayim seifim mar Ephraim Shmo Elkanah. Read the beginning of Shmuel, the first chapter. On Rosh Hashanah, Chana was remembered. That's the Haftarah on Rosh Hashanah. Read it anytime you want. It's a schooler. Cry when you read it. It's beautiful. The pain she goes through when she davens. Chana, Heilige Chana, she should be a Melitz Yeshiv B'Klal Yisrael. The Alta von the Vadlik's outside. He must have been a Gilgal of Elkanah. He went around all over, another yeshiva, another yeshiva, another yeshiva. The Alta von the Vadlik. Today's his yahrzeit. I want to tell you something, but he did. Schus Yogan Aleinu. He should do things for us. In the next world, he should tell the Eibishter to do something for all of us. We're all the greatest people in the world. Klal Yisrael is Kodesh Kedoshim. Today it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I wonder, what do we have? Tshuva? What tshuva? Oh, my friend, you don't have to do tshuva. Don't bother me. You don't. I don't believe nobody around here. I'm also pretty good too. What tshuva? Everybody wants to do the right thing. Do we have the right adracha? Do we have Novandik? We're getting there. Watch out. We're getting there fast. I have one of my agents from Muncie. He took 5 Shalom Bayis. He just started 5 Shalom Bayis cases. All he did was he took them apart and explained to them what's making you tick, and you tick, and you tick. With Novandik Musa, Bir Ramidis. He it's over. He made Yeshuas. 5 Shalom Bayis with Novandik medication. Novandik Bir Hamidis. Yeah, I don't know what he does exactly, but he's a bomb. Well, it's really me. Because I davened for him. It's all me. Golumbik, you know what Golumbik's doing? Did you see, I showed it to my wife upstairs, a beautiful picture. Golumbik's turning over the world. Did you see Golumbik's stuff? No, this is Golumbek's chassid in Muncie. He's putting out a booklet on the beauty of Hashem's world. And Golumbek is speaking us. He's taking over the world. Golumbek, who doesn't know Golumbek? He's everywhere. The Bטחון hotline. You know who Golumbek is? My Tfilis. I says, hey, I can't do everything alone. 2 weeks later, Golumbek gets into business. Then I got Waldman, and I got all these great guys. They're all over the place. I got, what's your name again? Yaffe? Rabbi Yaffe. I got Yaffe. It's all Tfilah. All these great guys. This guy's Sugar. All these. I ask for the nicest guys around, and I get them. Only there's Rabbi Cohen. We got this, just them, and him, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Better than my Chevy, you're not going to find nowhere. There should be a Meilitz Yesha for all of us. But you're going as holy Drachim. He was the man that proved. Here's a picture of Reb Gershon's Rebbe. Look at him. And Nissim Putichinsky. Look at him. Look at the simcha, the sparkle in his eyes. Look at the fire. And Nissim Putichinsky, his name was. Nissim Rezhanka. He came from the city of Rezhanka. Look at him. Look at him. Look how he looks. I never met him. He was the one that got up when the Nazis got into, started up. They didn't do nothing when he got up. I heard this from an eyewitness. I heard different gears what he said. The one that I heard from Shlomo Figgers outside. They were sitting in Bialystok. He was a mashgiach in Bialystok. He got up. He said, Rabbi, so you see the streets, all the garbage? We're going to have to pay for that. It was the first time, by the way, the streets were not pizza stick in Europe. As bad as things were, that stuff, not like today. No practice. There was kfida, plenty of that stuff. Reform. There were Bundes and socialists, Jewish ones. Yevsetsky, whatever they call them. What are they called? Communist, Jewish bums. And Zionists, Al-Kulam, Yiddishists. All these people are bums, first class. You know what the Yiddishists used to do? Yom Kippur balls. On Yom Kippur here in New York. They come dancing, men and ladies, Yavar, Bundes. That's the Yiddishists. Just speak Yiddish. Everything else is fine. Just speak Yiddish. The other stuff. Tefillin, Shabbos, Yom, don't bother me. Yom Kippur, let's have some fun, but speak Yiddish. That's all you need. That was Yiddishists. All of us schnubble. They used to have, they're all gone. They used to have the Forwards newspaper. Forwards. And they used to have, by the way, in that Forwards, they had a bindel brief, it was called. A bundle of letters. Now, Jews are smart people. They put out a newspaper. So they put out over there letters to the editor. And how we're all freie denkers, they're called, free thinkers. We're free. We're not these the guys with the beanie, beards, you out of your mind. This is America. You got to be like everybody. Yeah, this is reform. It's good. Good the way it is. It's interessant. I read a couple of those. This Yid writes, listen to this one. He writes like this. I went through the mill. He's divorced. And his wife did a job on him. And the brother-in-laws destroyed him. And this guy and the kids. He's got a hard life. He came from Europe. He came to America. And he went through this one day. And he writes this thing to the editor. And then he says, I know we're all free thinkers. We're not into the frum stuff. But I'll tell you the truth. I come from a Lithuanian place where learning is everything. One of those learners, the Litvaks. And I want to have a good learning head, And I'll tell you the truth. I went through the world of tsaris. And the only thing that makes me happy is, not that I'm really from, but that's the situation. I go into base medrash and I open up a Gemara. That's the only thing that makes me happy. I know it's strange. And I also believe it's not the right thing, Learning, Torah, out of your mind. We're free thinkers, We're not those cuckoos. I saw this letter. I saw it myself. The only thing that makes me happy is the black Gemara. Isn't that delicious? Isn't that delicious? The black Gemara. Isn't that delicious? I'll tell you another cute one. I was once looking at, I don't know if you're allowed to look at some of these things. in Israel, pictures of Israel, the Knesset, picture of the Knesset, picture of the Kaisel, boom, picture of Binyana Ya'uma, picture of all these landmarks in Israel, of this, the president, without his yarmulke, you know, the president, and or whoever, the premier, and the this, and the that, and a little kid without a yarmulke, with a Hebrew book, Masmid, they write on him, without a yarmulke, sitting with some kind of Tiyanisha book over there, Masmid. They write, you know, a pictorial of Israel. Then I saw some weird thing. It's unbelievable. I saw a picture of Meir Shior, guy walking in the street. Listen to this one. And I don't know who wrote this. Underneath, it's written like this. The Gemara Bava Basra. Loi Yerushalayim shel olam hazeh, Yerushalayim shel olam haba. Shalayim shel olam hazeh, kos haroitza lava yavai. You want to come to Yerushalayim? Anybody could come. Yerushalayim shel olam haba. Only if you're invited. And there's a picture of a frum yid with a beard. The whole thing has no frum people. That one's got a yid with a beard, walking in Meir Shiurim, and they wrote that underneath it. I don't know who put it in there, but it's great. Yeah. You want? Oh yeah, it's very nice. Oh, Yerushalayim with this guy without a yarmulke and a masmid, and this guy Rachmana litzlan, some pizza's garbage. Yeah, this is the new stuff, you know. And this is the way we are today. These cool kibbutznik guys with their open shirts over there. See, with short pants. I'm talking about guys my age with short pants and going around. You know, kibbutz. We're good people. I'd rather I met a kibbutznik once. A very nice Yetzirah. You know that the Gain says that the Eibishter gives good midas to the worst bums to test us. You know that? It's interesting. We don't have this type of nisyonos. Whatever. It wasn't easy for frum Jews. If the sweetie pie is a Russia Marusha. I know someone. I don't want to say his name. He was a rabbi. They said he didn't believe in Torah Min Hashemayim. I met him. He was sweet and nice and humble. He didn't believe in Torah Min Hashemayim. And the Orthodox rabbi in the town, who was a YU guy, he was a great guy. But this guy was special. The bum was special. The bum is mitos. The bum is mitos. You can't. That's something. The bum mitos. Now, it's a horror. Anyway, where am I up to? Who? What did he say to the German? You know what he said before the Nazis came? He says, it was the first year the preachers began. I heard this from Chaim Halpern, Zatzal. He lived in Poland. And he said there was no preachers in Europe. It was plenty bad. He remembers girls. Girls were the worst. You don't watch out those ladies. We don't have these problems, but in Yerushalayim, the Rabbah Chassidim were very makbid on girls. I ate the Shabbos by the Gabbai. His name was Don Schwartz. Check him out. Big time. The Shomer Amunim Rabbar himself's Gabbai. I think he was 100 years old. He was a Zucker. Put out a sefer in Shluch HaKan. I don't know if you heard of him. Anyways, I ate by him for Shabbos. A beautiful, happy home. A nice person, sweet like sugar. You wanted to read me Yerushalayim, I should have. You get these Americans, get them, but they don't chop, you know. I'm joking. Anyway, I had a good time with him. And he was talking to me about his shittas, about, we believe women. The women, make them from, and make them, you know, the women, put all our focus on ladies. That they were very matzliach. That's why we're so matzliach. The women are number one. Now, Poland, you know what they did? You know what they did to the ladies? The men are studying and learning. Go to the Rebbe, to the Tish. The ladies, you don't make jokes out of ladies. I hope the ladies heard this one. Ladies, you see, I know how to be nice too. Not so bad. But it's taka true. You don't play games with ladies. The Beis Yaakov had just started, but most people didn't go to Beis Yaakov. I saw myself, a woman. A tzniistic, a woman. She had no shaykhs with el mazeh. She just didn't cover her hair, and she wore short sleeves. Go figure that one out. And she said, tell him all day, a Polish Yidden, a husband, tzaddik. The husbands were spudiks. They used to go to the tish and singing, and then they came home. Well, it's a Yidden, they're all going like that. What do you mean they're all going like that? No shadels. He said, the Hungarian ladies are much better than the Polish. I heard it from a Polish guy. And not coming from Hungary, that book. I heard it from a Polish, so don't be upset with me. I heard it from a Polish. The Polish, the mistake the Polish made, let's be friends, you have to be makar, and that messed them all up. So they intermingled, and soon the kids became best friends, and soon you lost the kids. Ger went to Gehenna to hold on to what they had. You know that? I once saw a letter that Ger wrote to get the opening yeshiva, and if your kid's off the derech, don't send them here. Don't play games with us. That's what the letter says. They were so petrified. Because every time they went home, they never came back. They came back because the brothers and the sisters, the girls, were the worst. Chaim Halperin told me, remember these girls, they had trolley cars in Warsaw. They would take these red flags and throw them over it was illegal, communism. And these young girls, communists, these tough ladies, the Polish girls. And, that's before Beis Yaakov, unfortunately. But anyway, Beis Yaakov just wasn't enough. Although they hit it to thousands, they did very well. But it was over. But, what was I saying? So anyway, so what? Yeah, so what did he tell me of Chaim? So anyway, so he said this. He said, so that plenty of bums all over the place. And it was getting worse. They're afraid. Then there's Gary Yeshiva. They opened up a new Gary Yeshiva. They're making the new yeshiva. And they said, do not send him with letters from your Rav that he's a good kid, because we're going to smell him out 1, 2, 3. And those days trips were not jokes. The trip was money and keiches. We're going to send him right home. We smell a rat. We are keen here in Ger. And we're scared. Half our guys are going off the derech. We're going to catch you and send you right home. So just don't send them. Don't waste your time. I saw the letter. And then there's another letter. They had 200 bachim, this elite yeshiva in Ger, that try to hold on to whatever they had. Then they sent another letter. The second letter says, he's going home for Yom Tov. Watch who he talks to, because we're going to have to check him all over again. We don't trust. We need a new letter from her up. And again, we're warning you, because over the Alta from the Vardik became a Musanik. One of the main reasons. Rousseau Salanta was behind that. He wanted to be a brisker. Did you hear that? Hope there's a lot of briskers listening to that. He liked brisk. The Beis Halevi, he loved brisk. And he was a lamd, and they loved him. Brisker Rav held from him and learning. Alta from the Vardik was the real learner. But Rabbi Salanta did not like his idea. He said goodbye to his wife and kids. I'm going into the fire, I'm going to learn. I can take care of the family. He was, what are you doing? Salanta told him, well, how can you do that? The wife says, I'm doing it. I know what I'm doing. And he left them. Debishter took care of everybody. They all turned out great. But the Alta knew what he was doing. And Salanta said, if you're leaving your family and you want to go to brisk, come to me. Better come to me. And he became a Ganza Bal Musa. Now, one of the reasons why he became so extreme with his Musa, first he started yeshivas, learning NFL Musa. He had a top pacha who was learning in his yeshiva, Yom Balayla, 18 hours a day. And he was a star. They all loved him. He went home. As soon as he never came back. Checked them out. For paying my nom for Pesach. Checked out what became of him. His sister got a hold of him. No problem. Off the derech. So he became extreme in Musa for that reason. However, he always held from Musa. Musa in the Vardik was very, very, very extreme. More than any other place. Kelm was also quite extreme. I'm going to tell you something that I think is very, very, very important. Before anything else, I don't want to forget my mitzvahs. I got a call 3 hours ago. 28, the father told me, you can tell your Olam, so I want to make sure to tell the Olam, because you can tell your Olam. 28-year-old Hasidic girl. You know what that means? When you're 28, unmarried, and you're a girl, and you're Hasidic, the pits are here. But Baruch Hashem, they knew Mendel. Some smart yid told them to call Mendel. That was the smartest thing they ever did in their life. Call Mendel. 2 months ago, the father just told me he's on the phone. I called Mendel. Mendel says, say nice things about the girl. She's getting a top shidduch. He told me today, as soon as he started doing that, oh, she's a great girl, she's getting married, things started moving. 2 months later, she has a kala with every bracha I gave her came true. How do you like that, Rabbi Yisai? L'chaim, she should have Nachas and all those other people. Boy, I have them plenty in mind. They're all becoming Chassanim. Alta von Novanik, do something, please. Ask the Abish that these great people need shidduchim. We have a lot of tzaddikim here. I want them getting top shidduchim, and some girls too. I know some of them who need shidduchim as soon as possible. Abish to straighten them all out. They don't need straightening out. They're great. They are Gavaldi, beyond, all of them. Hashem, you can do anything. Get them all married off happily. I had another one just recently. Called me up. Easy ladies. Why? My two specialties. Now shidduchim is starting up. My tayach, my greatness is skyrocketing in all areas. This year, my number one, I hit number 29, almost 30 cases where the guys call me up, their wives are giving birth soon. They want an easy lady. You heard what happened with my easy ladies. Giving birth. I was always good in that, but this year it's crazy. Now one after another, thanks to you, my wife, 1, 2, 3. I have 2 lashonos. Chicken with an egg. One of them I said, like a chicken with an egg. And the other one's a whistle. The chicken, the egg, I said, the guy calls me up, Mendel, my wife was there 2 hours. And in 1 minute, she gave birth. And she got off the bed like nothing happened. Like, oh, I gave birth. like nothing happened. That was one report. That was one of the last ones that I remember. And the next one, the guy called up to complain. Mendel, this is no good. What did I do wrong now? You said, watch what you say. You said it's going to be like a whistle. The kid was born in 7 minutes. The doctor missed the boat. Don't say whistle anymore. Hey, what's going on? Mendel is terrible. You got to watch. So when you tell Mendel to make some ice, make sure Mendel doesn't get out of hand. Anyway, so where are we up to? Very important. Oh, nah. The Heilige Rishna. Listen, I'm going to confess. I'm starting my confessions. You get older, you open up. I do have Hasidic blood, and I'm proud of it. And I do like Hasidim. I'm sorry to disappoint all my Litvak friends, but I'm not really one of you guys. I'm really one of the Hasidim. I mean, that's the real truth. I like Hasidim. What can I do? By the way, I like Sfardim. Oh, I'm nuts over them. By the way, I even like Litvaks. I like the Harrys. They're all good guys. And I like Jack. Gentleman Jack is my best friend. During Corona, when all my friends abandoned me, Jack stayed with me. Jack, I was alone with Jack. By the way, I'm not allowed to have yichud with Jack. Because I might finish him off. I'm not miyachud with alcohol. It's a whole shaila of yichud. With goose, I can't have yichud with goose. I can't have yichud with whatever, Johnny. But what was I talking about? Who? The Heilige Rishna. I told us like this. Even if I'm going in the shadow of death, doctors have verified. People who are dead, clinically dead, and somehow they woke up. There's a lot of such cases. I know ADPA myself. It's a Matthias. People die, they fly up, the neshamas go up, they watch the doctors operating on their bodies, and they hear all the nivell peh that the doctors are saying when they think that the patient is half dead or he's already dead. And then they suddenly come back into, and they said, doctors, hey, the guy's back alive. And then they said, Doc, I heard what you were saying when you thought I was dead. Doc, you're not supposed to talk like that. That's disgusting. It's true stories. True stories. You don't talk like that. You think I didn't hear. You think I ain't right. Shamas. Your patient might be more alive than you think he is. Yeah, something's a true story. Anyway, but what I was saying now. But they did verify, the people who came back, that the sly gates Hamavis, that they described death as going into a dark thing. Okay, the others are going to stop coming to me. Mendel, Mandel's getting too, you're not supposed to talk about that stuff. Okay. Anyway, you're supposed to live in Dimyan, Golas Eden, like Esav, Golas Eden. Death is not Lamaisa. You know what the Chavetz said? People think it's Chevre Starbus. It's a club for dead people. We don't die. Who dies? You die? These guys are all here. Oh, a cemetery, that's a club. It's not us. Chavetz said that. People are living in La La Land, you know. You got to be realistic. You live forever. You got to be baloney. You die, and so what? Anyway. So where am I up to? So, I'm not scared. Hashem, even if I go into death, I'm not scared. Bטחון helps in Yanavelt. Zok der Ramchal. Somebody who had bטחון in this world. His bטחון is going to work for him into the next world. It's going to schlep him out of Gehenna. Bטחון works overtime. You get the engine moving in this world, and the next world, it's going to, the keyboard keeps moving. You're going to have a great time up there. There are all these bad malachim that are going to disappear. You're a bטחון. I'll leave them alone. The power of your thoughts of bטחון will work for you in the next world where you're going to need it much more than you needed it here. It's going to keep working for you. You know that? Spend time learning Shar bטחון. It's going to help you. You know how much trouble there is in the next world? No one's scared. You know, Gehenna is an issue. Come inside. Novhardok. This is a real Navhardok. He's the Gershon's, one of my chevra. Anyway. So, says the Heilige Rishona, Gam ki elech b'geitz hamavis lo ira. Even if I go in the shadow of death, lo ira, I'm not scared. Ra, you know what's bad? Ki ati mother, that you have to suffer with me. Isn't that delicious? I told this over to these 9-year-old kids. They loved it. Isn't that beautiful? The Heilige Rishona. Hey, you see, so I have my Hasidic roots. Anyway, where am I up to? Now I'm going to tell you about the Alta from Novhardok. Listen to this, Rabbi say. Learn how to fapak the world. Boy, did he know how to do it. Nobody like him. Fapak the world. Was he good at it? Now, he got married. He got engaged to a girl. And the father was supposed to hold him out. 500 rubles, something, the whole deal. He was happy. Suddenly the father's nifta. So the Alta says, I'm going to marry that girl. She's the oldest of 8 Yisayimim. With an almana. That means the day I get married, I got to work like a horse to feed all these chevra. I don't want the shidduch. His father said, you're doing it. Because you can't do that to Yisayimim. She's Yisayimim, you're marrying. And he married her. Right after he got married, he's running around making money. He lived by the German border. And he used to sell textiles to Germany. And he made money like crazy. He was good at it. The Alta was a great businessman. He was sharp, he was smart, he was energetic, he was lebedik, and he had siyata d'shmaya. He gave a shiur also at nighttime. Ben Torah for Balabatamim, for Bnei Torah also, he was good. Okay, that was it. One day he bumped into Rabbi Salanta. That was the end. Rabbi Salanta says, "Where are you running?" He said, "Well, I got to make money." There's different guesses what happened. What am I going to live on? So Rabbi Salanta, what are you going to die on? He invited him. I give a share in the city of Memel in Russia. Salanta used to come there. He says, "You come to my share. There are 13 share. If there's a 13 share, a share of Rabbi Salanta." You know what Rabbi Salanta was? I knew a man whose father was Mishamish Rabbi Salanta. He saw Rabbi Salanta go to sleep in the middle of the day for half an hour. You know what happened to him while he was sleeping? His face started burning on fire. The Chassidim said, the Litvakas had a Rebbe, Salanta, but they didn't use him, as usual. Litvakas don't know how to deal, it's okay, don't worry. Anyway, it's okay. But me, they're doing a good job on. I get covered till, woo-wah. Anyway. So Rabbi Salanta, Rabbi Aaron Cutler used to talk about him, he used to shake. You know what he said about him? There was Anashir Gedali Yisrael in his dar, and he was bigger than all of them together. Salanta was a malach. He picked himself up and he went to Paris to be Makarov, the Godel Adar. Rabbi Salanta. There's no... You just forget it. He was beyond greatness. And Rabbi Yozel, Dalton from Nevada, was a brilliance. When he saw Salanta, he made his match an Emil, and he was bottled to him. And Rabbi Salanta says, "All right, you got to get more serious about life," which he did, and he got carried away. And in fact, he decided to dump his wife and kids. So I'm leaving and going to Covenant to sit and learn in the title over there. So I said, no. Now you're getting out of hand. You don't leave your wife and kids. He had 11 kids, 11 people at that point to feed. So he says, you can't do that. So the elder says, I will do it. That's his Rebbe. How do you do such a thing? Right. You don't go against your Rebbe so fast. But Rabbi Yozel knew what he was doing. And he wanted to go to Brisk to learn. Rabbi Yozel says, if you're doing that already, come to me to be a Musanik. And he made him a Musanik. First he decided he's going to stay in a house alone and learn day and night, 24/7. He didn't go daven, nothing. He was alone, harving and Torah and Musa. There was no... He got a reputation as the holy Jew all over. The Goyim were... Everyone, he was like... And then one day, after a while, for a certain kufa, he brought his wife back and covenant together, but then his wife is nifta. His wife is nifta. Now I'm really selling myself off from the world. A certain Reb Shlomo took care of him. He was right near his house, at the edge of a forest or whatever. And Reb Shlomo looks like something's wrong. He hears screaming from the house. So he gets out of his place and he goes over to Reb Shlomo and he says, what's going on? He has an older daughter who's not doing a shidduch. And no one's marrying her. He wants a ben Torah, it's not happening. One day, she finally gets a shidduch. A poor bacher from Yehupitz, come inside, decides he wants to marry her. And now, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, Sukkot is supposed to get married. Gave out invitations, suddenly got a message, changed my mind, I'm not marrying your daughter. Now she's never going to get married. The whole house is turning over, screaming, yelling. The girl is not quite, the girl that anyone wants to marry. And Reb Shlomo is crying. So the Alter from Novanik says, Reb Shlomo, I'll marry her. Are you serious? You know who wanted him for a shidduch? The Alter from Kel wanted him for his daughter. You know that? His daughter had Ruach HaKodesh. His daughter was a malach. That's who he wanted, the Chamaliba. That's who he wanted. It didn't work out anyway, but he was big. He was a guy. He was an up-and-coming Gullah Yisrael. And he had this girl that nobody wants. I'm marrying her. Why? Rachmanis. Who's going to marry her? I'll marry her. Yes, said Jemaisa. Anyway, when that happened, the world turned over. The Haskalah, a girl, they got his number. And the Gedolim, we got emergency telegrams from Itzel Blaza of all the Gedolim Israel. Don't you marry that girl? What do you think you're doing here? There's a scandal. The world's going to talk. The elder says, I'm marrying her. But the world's, I'm marrying her. But all the Gedolim, all the Ktanim, I'm marrying her. It's done. No one tells me what to do. That was the Alta from Novhardok. He did his thing. When he left his family, Shaul Solanta was against him. I'm doing it. The Alta was tough. I want to tell you something. There's a medrash in Mishpachim. Yehuda is on the Bezdin, and Tamar is on trial. And Tamar is on to, you know that. Medrash Rabbah Pasuk Mishpatim. And Tamar is on trial, and Tamar says, Hakerna, you see the chesemes and the psila? Recognize you don't want to be Bavazim Marab. You would have won that word. You would have won, Yehuda. And Yehuda says, oh, it's hard. He figured out what's going on. Now he had his father, Kamat Zecha Yitzchak Avinu, was on the Bezdin. With all the Shvatim were on the Bezdin. They're all paskin. Is it true? Yitzchak was there? Yitzchak was also there. You got it. See, we have Gans Shas sitting here with Rabbi Yaakov. Yitzchak Avinu was on. You're playing games with Yitzchak Avinu? Or Yaakov Avinu? Reuben, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, these are kids? We all paskin, let her burn. Whatever reason. I don't understand why. You know what Yehuda said? She's not burning. I say different. How do you go against Yitzchak Avinu, your Zayda, Yaakov Avinu, your father, all the Shvatim, Tafam Olam? That's Malchus. That's David HaMelech Zayda. Malchus. Don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. Now, watch out with that thought. Be careful. We're going to have mass revolutions all over the place. All the kids, please do not listen to Mendel anymore. Mendel is revolutionary. He's against society, but that Novhardok stuff, you got it, that's not good stuff. Listen to me, it's a medrash. You want to deal with the medrash? How are you going to deal with the medrash? Now you know what David HaMelech did? The way he fafta in the Welt? You know the story of Shim Ben Gera? He threw stones at him, at a melech. Klola Nimretzis. Noyef, Toyeva, Mamzer, Reitzayach. You know what that means? You know what he called him? A Reish Sanhedrin called him. And guess who was standing next to him? You know who Avishai was? Chazal say he was connected thousands of... He was a Gadol B'Yisrael. Avishai. He was his nephew. David, I'll take off the dead dog's head right now. That's a lashon. No? Who knows Tanakh? I'll kill him right now. David turns around. B'nai Tzuri, you're telling me what to do? You know how many times he did that? We're the biggest people in Klal Yisrael. We're pressuring him. Kill him. What, Avner? What do you do with Avner? Yoav says, you know, Avner is your sworn enemy. He incited Shaul against you. Are you okay? You know what you're doing? You're telling me again what to do? David is always telling people, don't mind your own business. And the Gedolei Yisrael. And he's not nisbar from nobody. That's Malchus. That's a king. Shaul lost the Malchus. Don't I dare say anything about Shaul. Shaul was way bigger than all of us. I have no shachas with him. But, look, everybody holds like that. They all hold, I shouldn't wipe out the whole Amalek. I can't go against the whole world. This is the Shkima. You can't be different than the whole world. You gave in, so Shmuel and Navi says, Babala, you just lost the Malchus. That separates the Machas Shaul and the Heilige Shaul HaMelech. Got to watch what I'm saying over here. The way you say it, got to be very careful. Speaking of Malachim over here. I'm just trying to bring it down to Malchus is you got to have a piece of Malchus in you. There's something nobody can tell you. You know the Yalta in Kelm? When Reb Solanta said, you're learning too much Musa. Solanta! Told the Alter, you know what the Alter said? He could tell me as much as he wants. I'm not stopping. I'm going to be learning my 3 hours a day. I know the Matthias. You can't tell me anything. I know the Matzah. The Alter von Kelm said that. He said, Rebbe, you shook for him. He was his life. On me. You have to have a part of you that says, I am me against the world. I know better. I know what I'm doing. You have to have you. Or else, but watch out. Soon you're not going to listen to Mandel anymore. You know. But I will tell you, is a danger. I needed a Rebbe for this stuff too. Do you know that? Okay. I was once told something by 4 Gedolei Yisrael. I don't want to say Rabim, but you have to know there's a... What?
You just give a speech not to be afraid, so just go for it.
Yeah, but you got to watch out. I'll tell you why. I pride myself with my listening to Gedolim. That's what I'm all about. All my success is my principal, Rabbi Gelbach. He's a chashuv, a sweet person, a tzaddik. Rabbi Gelbach many times has told me to do things that I did not believe in. And I says, I'm a vatal my das to my manal. He used to tell me things, oh, come on, you serious? Come on, don't do that. I know the situation better than you, dealing with kids. I'm a vatal my das. He's the principal. Bug off, Bubby. And Beshita, I go along with him. And I go, and I have no charata. I hold it skavaldik. You know that there are 2 Novandigas that they told me, 2 of the biggest Novandigas, young guys. They told me for 8 months, each one made the other one, 2 brothers, the other one his Rebbe. And each one was a vatal his das to the Rebbe, and you all had tremendous yad rishmayim for those 8 months. Listen, be mavatal your das. By the way, ladies, you please turn me off. I don't want you to hit us. Listen to this one. You can hear me too. This is for the men. You know the best of us are like Arush. Shalom Arush. You know why? He wrote 2 books. For Shalom Bayis. One for men, one for ladies. I once had a couple that wasn't getting along. The one for men, it's written on the bottom, this is not for women. The one for women on the bottom, this is not for men. You read the other guy's book, it's over. It's over. You're going to find out what she's supposed to be doing. Get out of that stuff, find out what you're supposed to be doing. Keep away from it. Okay, anyway. What was I saying? Where am I up to? Huh?